Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm joined in the ATV News studios by my good friend Stephen Hawes. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Good afternoon to you too.
Now, Stephen here is our resident expert on all things cold. Tell us, Stephen, why are you qualified to educate us on the proper ways of managing the cold?
Of course, living in Cache Valley, you walk to school in -10-degree temperature, -20-degree temperature.
Without a coat?
Without a coat.
Excellent, Stephen. Now, last weekend, the polar plunge went down in Hiram Dam. We have the footage of that polar plunge. We're going to be bringing that to you today, and expert analysis by Stephen Hawes here. Let's take a look at some of our contestants for Most Valuable Plunger today. We have Santa Claus, of course, the entire team Santa Claus. We also have Team Oompa Loompa, as shown here by our little green-haired man with his friends Bikini Man and Cupid. And then finally we have Team Jamaica. They be Jamaican me crazy. The polar plunge, of course, was an activity that was sponsored by the Cache County Sheriff's Department. The event was put on to raise money for the Special Olympics in Utah. And let's go to our correspondent now, who was live at the scene. Walter Hemsley was there. Walter? Yes, thank you. Actually, more than $10,000 were raised for the Special Olympics in Utah last Saturday at Hiram Dam, and more than 100 people jumped in this little pond that's right behind me right now. It's been roped off. Everyone that jumped in was okay. The rescuers had to jump in a couple of times to save some people, but everyone turned out all right. A little bit cold, but turned out to be a good day. Thank you. Back to you. Before we get to these dives by these illustrious divers, let's take a moment and talk about the dangers of hypothermia. What are the first stages of hypothermia?
Well, the initial stages in this environment where you're getting wet very quickly is your hands. You lose your motor function very quickly, so you can't grab a hold of things. You can't pull yourself out of the water because the blood starts to shun itself back to the core to keep your heart and vital organs warm. And so that happens sometimes within the first 30 seconds or so.
Team Jamaica is now entering the alleyway, preparing to make their dive. Stephen, as they approach, what are your impressions?
Well, my first impression is I don't see much skin exposed, honestly, Landon. I think they're going to have quite a shock, especially once that little sled of theirs falls apart.
Oh, it appears as though they will not be entering the water with their sled. That's going to hurt their point total, but I still think they'll be okay. Your thoughts?
I think they're going to miss some points. They're not doing a synchronized dive in, just as though they were in the sled. I have to give them points on the hat. That was good.
That was good. Santa Claus and his little elves are approaching the diving platform.
Look, Santa Claus does this every year in winter. He's got a heads up on the cold.
And they're preparing. Oh, are they going to dive together? This could push them over the edge if they go together. And they are!
That's major points right there. Doing an in-sync dive, major bonus points.
Team Oompa Loompa is now making its way down the alley for their jump. Now Cupid, he's entering the water right now. Stephen, is that proper entry technique?
You see, no, that was good. You just see the incline of his body. His feet went in way first.
Now the belly flopper looks like did much better. Here comes our Oompa Loompa.
But once again, no skin exposed. It's going to be a shock to his system.
I don't know how that's going to hurt his point total, but that is still one terrific score. A 9.3 will seal up the win for Team Oompa Loompa. Let's go down and get the post-dive reaction from our friend, the Oompa Loompa, Chris Hughes.
Really cold. Yeah.
All right, that's captain of Team Oompa Loompa, Chris Hughes. Stephen, what are your final words?
Honestly, Landon, my thoughts are more power to these people who do that. Not only to do it, but then to pay for a good cause, but still to pay to go jump into that water. That takes bravery right there. I don't have that, I don't think.
All right, for Cache Rendezvous here on the ATV News set, he's Stephen Hawes. I'm Landon Hemsley. Peace and out.